Bryan Levell,
What's up, viewers? Welcome back to the channel. So quickly I'll be giving y'all an update on what took place in Hungary for the Gyulai Istvan Memorial Meet. I'll be covering the 1 and 200 meters for both male and female, and we're gonna kick it off with the men's 200 meters because yes, that was some great running there from Bryan Levell, lowering his PB to 19.69 seconds. Now definitely should be seen as a contender for a medal at Worlds. Bryan Levell has been gradually improving. We saw where he has lowered his PB possibly a week and a half ago to 9.81 second in the 100 meters. Now he's back to do it again in the 200 meters, and this one was a negative win of minus 0.04. So if he has gotten a positive win, like a positive 0.1, then we might have seen 19.5, possibly 19.4, who knows. But yeah, great running from Bryan Levell, and definitely can't wait to see how fast he can really go. Can't wait to see him perform under pressure on the biggest stage, and that will be at the World Championship. That will be in mid-September. But definitely Shaniki Osborne doing a phenomenal job with Bryan Levell. It's so unfortunate that he pulled up in the 100 meters at the Jamaica National Trials though. But that could also be a plus for him to mainly focus on the 200 meters and possibly medaling, because we saw Noah Lyles, we saw Kenny, and we know Letsile Tobago is coming. But Bryan Levell looked sharp, he looked ready, and he looked like he can beat any one of those guys to possibly win a medal in the 200 meters. But yeah, feel free to leave y'all thoughts on this one in the comments. Now on to the women's 100 meter, where we had Shelly, Sherika, and Tina Clayton, the Jamaican women, competing in this one. However, they all got beaten by Talou in 10.97 seconds. Tina Clayton with another sub-11 clock in 10.99. Sherika Jackson on the 11-second mark, and also Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce finishing fourth and 11.07 seconds. Talou looked like she got the best start of anyone. And we know normally once Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce is in a race, Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce will be like, for the first 20 to 30 meters, she's normally ahead. But I'm sorry to say, it seems as if Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce has lost the rocket from her start. In recent times, well, for this season, we haven't seen that pocket rocket start any at all. And it was displayed here in Hungary again. Yeah, her start wasn't the best. She wasn't the best starter in the field, and her first 3 steps didn't get her anywhere as well. I guess it's still a work in progress for her because she still have time. She has about a month leave to perfect this. But yeah, it's not looking good for Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce. But I must say, congratulations to Talou on this win. She has been gradually improving throughout the season as well. Tina Clayton, far from her best from what we saw at the Jamaica National Trials, so she just need that bit of consistency, and we'll see how she progresses throughout the season. But 10.99 is still a pretty good time as well. Sherika Jackson not looking her best any at all, not looking like the Sherika Jackson we knew, but she's coming off an entire injury from last season. She did not get to compete at the Olympics any at all in both 1 and 200 meters. And she did explain that it will take her time to get back to her normal self. And naturally, when an athlete gets injured, coming back from injury, their first precaution is to make sure that they do not get injured again. So they're hesitant to really push your body to the extreme limit, and that's understandable. So we just have to give Sherika Jackson time, possibly right off this season, and prepare for next season, even though next season will not be an Olympic season nor a World Championship season. But we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully she will be able to defend her title in the 200 meters come September. But yeah, that's the update that we have for you in the women 100 meter. Chalu winning in 10.97 seconds, and Tina Clayton second, 10.99. Sharika 11 flat for third, and Shelly fourth, 11.07 seconds. Now on to the men's 100 meter, where we had the big man himself, Kishane Thompson. And yes, he stepped up, winning in 9.95 seconds. We also have Rashid here in 10.01, Simbini 10.01 as well, Akeem Blake fourth, 10.04. That would have run it off the top four. But yeah, Kishane making sure that he was ahead of the pack. And yeah, he looked smooth, not as quick as we saw in previous races. But yeah, he looks really smooth, really composed, and he delivered. He has a big race coming up on the weekend as well. So I guess he weren't exerting all his energy, weren't pushing his body to the extreme limit, because this was more of an easier race for him than the one that is coming up on the weekend. But yeah, great performance from him. Akeem Blake seems to be off it just a bit, because we know his best this season is 9.88 second. That was run at the national trials, where he had to give it his all to make sure that he falls in the top three. But since then, he haven't broken the 10-second barrier. Anywhere around 10 seconds he has been running, and he will need to improve on that if he wants to even make it to the final or possibly medaling at Worlds. But yeah, Simbini has been a bit off it, because he was the world leader at one point this season. Yeah, he kicked off the season really strong. Many thought that he would have gone on to run super fast, but just like other season, he starts really fast and then the momentum shift, because he peaks too early, and I think it's because of where he's from, South Africa, and their season tend to start a bit earlier than the others. So that might affect, or that might be the reason affecting him or his performance at this particular time of the year. But yeah, great performance from Kishane nonetheless, and he was expected to win. I was expecting a bit faster time, but possibly it may have been that the track is not that fast. But when you really look at the time that Bryan Levell clocked in the 200 meters, is it though? But yeah, feel free to leave y'all thoughts on this one in the comments. Moving on to the 200 meter, we had Ashanti Moore, and she has been dropping some really good performance in recent times, winning at the Jamaica National Trials and every other race since that. She has been dominating, also getting the qualifying time for the World Championship. So she will be at the World Championship competing in the women's 200 meters. So I must say congratulations to her on that. And it has been coming. It just shows you that hard work really does pay off, and consistency as well. So we have to congratulate Ashanti Moore on that. But yeah, feel free to leave y'all thoughts on this race in the comments. Remember, if y'all new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. That way y'all get all the updates in track and field. Thank y'all for watching.